Day four. All right, so cool. Now it's time for us to lock in the routine. Like, you made your plan, you made your blueprint, everything's coming together now. Now it's time to start putting things into action, right? All right, so cool. First thing we gotta do is this is literally where like your discipline starts to separate you from other people. So this is where like mentally you gotta really lock in. Today's video is gonna be about locking in your routine, actually getting it down packed by, for example, like what your daily anchor is going to be, your blueprint, your nutrition routine, your mindset routine, common mistakes. We're just going to cover it all. So today's video won't be too long. I'm just going to just hit everything real quick, and as time goes on, we'll like dive deeper into each topic. So first, we gotta make sure that we know that this is the time that we have like 66 days, 65 days left. So we have almost 2 months left in the year. This year's been going by so fast. So every day that you pass, that you haven't worked towards your goals, or you at least made some kind of progress towards your goal, is another day wasted. So we don't have any more time to waste. And I'm speaking to myself as well. So it's time for us to start putting this stuff down and actually start working towards our goals. So there's no more time for us to start guessing. There's no more time to start being like, all right, I'll see how I feel. This is a training schedule. So if you're really serious about making that transformation, you have to commit to the schedule. No matter how you feel, no matter what's going on in your day, at least try every single day to follow this blueprint. So the routine, that's what's going to give you those results. So let's talk about the routine. So obviously we know that like over time, motivation is going to fade away. You know what I mean? Like as time goes on, for example, me, there's been times where I'll go to the gym for like a few months at a time, and then I just plateau because, let's be honest, we reach our goals and then as humans we get complacent. So it's really natural for your motivation to fade and your emotions to start changing as well, because you first start like getting excited when you start seeing those results, and then as time goes on and you really start seeing that you already reached your goal, you kind of start wondering what's next. And now that excitement turns to anxiety, it starts turning into you just trying stuff. Now that's whenever you start seeing people hop on steroids, start doing like different type of TRTs and all this different type of stacks just to keep up with other people. So you got to also remember that life also does get busy. So yes, motivation, emotion, all that plays a factor, but at the end of the day, we have to center our training schedule or our locking in schedule around our day. So no matter what's going on, if you got work, you got school, I understand life can get busy. You won't always be able to make it every single day. Sometimes there's certain things that happen with my job or with just life in general where I just seriously can't make it into the gym that day. So I gotta work around that. So that's what this whole video is gonna be about, just trying to figure out how we can stay on track. Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, the energy won't be there. For example, this morning, I woke up this morning, I just wasn't feeling it. And the whole day, I just wasn't feeling it. Throughout my workout today, I just wasn't feeling it. But you know what? At the end of it, I still felt good. I still felt like I did something, because yeah, I didn't feel good, but if I didn't work out or I didn't complete what my routine had for me today, I would feel even worse than I did before. So no matter what, you gotta remember that life does get busy, and you gotta remember that the routine is there to keep you on track. Whenever your energy isn't there, that's what your routine is there for. So whether you're someone that has like a really good mental, like you could really remember everything well, keep that in your mind. Okay, Monday is this day, Tuesday is this. And also another thing too is if you're also like me and you struggle with keeping like track of your weight, write it down. Or I have an app called Heavy. I'll make a video on that later on in the series. I'll really break it down for you, show you one of my workouts and show you how I track it. So it'll literally have a calendar view of the whole entire month, and it'll show you what days you went to the gym and what days you like trained what exercise. And they even have this certain mode on there. When I make the video, I'll go in deep depth into Heavy. I'll make a separate video on that. But when you look at, they have a certain mode where when you look on there, it'll show you the human body, and then it'll show you what percentage you've trained a certain body group. So let's say you've been training a lot of chest but not much leg. It'll show you on that chart, okay, you've done, for example, 40% chest and only 10% legs. which is crazy. If you're doing that, you cooked. You got chicken legs. Train your legs. Don't forget train legs. Like that's so important. But it will show you everything. It will show you everything that you've been training and what you want to train. They'll give you different workout routines. I'll make a separate video on that. Don't even worry. So we're gonna talk about our daily anchors. So the things that keep us grounded, things that are, I like to call our daily anchors, like I said, because it keeps us grounded, it keeps us humble. You gotta remember that this whole process, you have to remain humble. This is not something that is supposed to boost your ego. Confidence and ego are two completely different things. That is also another video that I have planned, because a lot of people mistake confidence with having an ego. Confidence is being able to walk into a room and know that you can do anything that, let's say you're walking into a meeting, you have the confidence is saying that you know that whatever your job, your boss or your director, whoever is asking of you to do, you know that you can do it to your best capabilities. That's what confidence is. But ego is being like, okay, I'm gonna walk in this room, I know I'm better than everybody else in this room, even though that might not even be the case. That's not even what your calling is, being that kind of person. Maybe you're meant to be more of a reserved person that they just call on that one time on some if you watch basketball, on some Jeremy Lin, or recently Austin Reeves, like they call on you when they really need you and you're there, you're reliable. That's what confidence is, versus having an ego where you just think you're better than everybody with no real definition. Why? Just because you're you. You shouldn't have that. That's having an ego. There's a thin line between both. So we have to remember that. Wake up at the same time. So with the anchors, there's different types of anchors that keep you like motivated. Like for me, every morning, it's because of my job and things of that nature, but because of my schedule, my work schedule, every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up during the weekdays. On the weekends, I sleep in a little bit, probably like till like 7, 8, but on the weekdays, every morning, doesn't matter, I wake up at 04. So water and electrolytes before you touch your phone. This is what I do. Before I even touch my phone, before I even open up my Bible app, I just grab my jug real quick. It already has some electrolytes in there. Give me a couple sips. It's just something that'll train your body over on that, okay, it's been a couple minutes, I haven't really hydrated. Boom. You're building good habits. The biggest thing that we should remember is that we want to eliminate all the bad habits and start implementing them, replacing them with good habits. So let's say you used to be someone that used to always eat fries from McDonald's after every day at work. For some reason, you would stop at McDonald's on your way home, get you a large fry, eat on the way home. All right, cool. Doesn't mean that you got to change that routine or that you got to stop that routine. That's just edit it a little bit to make it better. Let's make it a positive change, right? So we want to eliminate all negative habits and start implementing them or replacing them with positive habits. All right, instead of you eating a large fry every day after work, how about you eat an apple every day after work? How about you eat some carrots every day after work? How about, I don't know, you just drink some water on the work every day after work? Because what we want to do is, over time, we want this to be something that becomes a part of us. We don't want it to be something that we're forced to do. So if it's something that you feel that's not comfortable for you and you don't really think that you could keep up with it, be honest with yourself. Try it out. It's not working, try it out again. If you really, in your heart, you know that you've been trying, don't bullshit. Because I know a lot of y'all be saying that you try certain stuff, but you really only half-assed it. And then now you're coming back and being like, oh, I tried this, it didn't work. Did you really try? Like, did you actually, like, attempt? Because when I told people the other day about my intermittent fasting, I had people the next day tell me, oh, yeah, I tried it, it's working. How is it going to work in one day, bro? That's not how that shit works. Like, that is not how diets or just life in general works. So you have to remember that these are things that we are implementing, making it a part of us. We're not just doing it to look cool or to make other people think of us as a certain way. This is something that we are making a hallmark, a benchmark of our life, a base of our life, so that it could lead us to having discipline in other areas. So that was just another daily anchor. So we talked about waking up at the same time, hydrating before you doom scroll, you know? So another thing is cardio. A lot of people try to ask me how I lost so much weight. Besides my diet, besides drinking water and with my exercise, the biggest thing was cardio. I play basketball almost every single day. And even though I have a couple things going on right now with like my body, I've been, as that's a whole different story. But I don't make any excuses. Even though with my past and everything, I don't make any excuses. I continue to train every single day, no matter how bad my back or my knee, whatever hurts. You can't make any excuses, because at the end of the day, there's somebody out there that has it way worse than you, that's working twice as hard as you. So are you gonna just keep letting that happen? Or are you just gonna just keep letting people that are less qualified than you outwork you? Or are you gonna actually start living up to your potential? So these are the things that you gotta remember, that it might suck. So you gotta, like I said, rework it to you, make it work for you. So like I said, cardio. I do basketball because I hate running. When I run, I be thinking, I'll be like, bro, this is boring as hell. I'm not gonna lie, this shit boring as hell. I'll be 20 minutes in, I'm like 3 miles in. I'm just like, bro, my knees is hurting. My music, I've been changing songs. Bro, I don't, like, sorry about that. But y'all that be like in those run clubs, I salute y'all. Hey, salute to y'all, because I tried to do a couple marathons, and the way my body felt after, bro, I literally felt like my body was like breaking down after. And don't get me wrong, I grew up playing sports, stuff like that. So like, I have a somewhat of an athletic background, not crazy at all, but like, I'm not just a casual. That wasn't my first time running, but I did me a 10K, I did me a 5K. I'm over here like, bro, y'all be doing this every week, bro? Y'all crazy. But hey, salute to y'all. That's the discipline I'm talking about. So if that's your thing, if running is your thing, go ahead. If it's pickleball or if it's soccer, I got some friends that they like to play soccer, and while I play basketball, they go play soccer. Like, shout out to my Latino homies, you know what I mean? Shout out to my amigos out there, you know what I mean? Like, for real, it's really something that you have to rework it to make it make sense for you. Some people, they just like to go on a walk. My brother Gary, he likes to go on walks. He likes to just sometimes just, you know, go outside after the gym and just walk around. That's his form of cardio. Some people just like to run. Like I said, some people like to power walk. I see on the Olympics, they actually got power walking now. Like, shout out to all the single moms doing the power walking. Hey, salute to y'all, you know what I mean? So that's the type of thing that I'm saying, that it works for you. Just figure out something that works for you. It could be, I remember back in the day, people were doing Pilates. Now people are doing, Zumba. Now people are doing Pilates or hot yoga, whatever, bro. So make it make sense to you and make it a part of your daily anchors. So cardio. I've been yapping a lot this video, but this is one thing that you should remember. If you could take one thing out of day 4, cardio. I would say if you're aiming to lose weight, me personally, this is again me personally, I did cardio 4 to 5 times a week. So I would lift, and then after my lift, I would do 45 minutes to an hour. Start off at first, I started doing incline. Treadmill, and I started realizing that shit boring as hell. If you do incline treadmill for 45 minutes after every single workout, either you are lying or you are an NPC, because that shit is boring as hell. I remember I would try to first like put podcasts on. I got this one podcast I love, Club 520. They are funny as hell because I love basketball, obviously. So everything that I watch mainly is centered around basketball. So I usually try to put that on. They got a show called 520 in the morning. It's usually like an hour. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to play the whole episode. By the end of the episode, you know what I mean? It's a funny show. So like when I'm not in the gym and I'm just chilling, I'm watching that show, that hour will be going by so fast. But I'll be on the treadmill, bro. I even try to prop my phone up and like, I prop my phone up in front of the time. So you won't be able to, you know what I mean, like peek and try to, you know what I mean, try to be slick. So I like try to lock in, really like focus on the show or like take my mind off the workout. Man, I'm laughing, having a good time. I remember this one workout where I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm sweating because I sweat a lot at the gym. So I'm sweating. I'm like, dang, man, it's had to be at least like 30, 35 minutes, right? I check my phone. I move my phone to look at the treadmill. That should say 13 minutes. I instantly stopped the treadmill. That was my last time on incline treadmill. If you are, like I said, if you do incline treadmill every single day for 45 minutes to an hour, either you lying or you an NPC, because that shit's boring. Maybe it's just me, but let me know down in the comments, bro. Like, what y'all do for cardio? And remember, nutrition is still an important benchmark when creating your daily anchors. It's all incorporated. So your mental, your physical, what you eat, everything is incorporated inside of your routine. So what we got to do now is we got to remember that when you're eating your food in the morning, your first meal, whatever your first meal is, you got to incorporate protein in there. Because now think about it, your body's first waking up, first thing that it wants to ingest, you want it to make it mean something. Treat your body like a temple. In the Bible, it says that we were created in the Lord's image, so we should treat it like a temple. You don't want to put no bullshit in your body, and then 20 years from now, your son trying to play tag with you, you over there huffing and puffing. You just turned 30 years old, but you can't even keep up with your son. Like, that's going to be embarrassing, bro. You don't want to be that dad that they at the pool party, you know what I'm saying? All the other dads got their shirt off. You the one dad with a belly, with a beer belly, your gut sticking out, looking like you 7 months pregnant. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that dude that in front of all the hubs, you know what I mean? You chilling, you having a good time, you know what I mean? But then all your homeboys, you know what I mean? They chilling with their girl, you know what I mean? Touching on their muscle and stuff, you know, talking about, oh, you go to the gym, stuff like that. But look at yourself, boy, you got man titties. You got to do this with your shirt every 2 seconds, bro. Do you want to keep living like that? No. So you got to make sure that whatever you ingest, that you are mindful of whatever you put in is what you get out. So what I like to try to do is incorporate my entire meal plan around 3 main concepts, which are macros, which are your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. So if you just focus your diet around those 3 things, and in the morning you prioritize protein, you make that a benchmark or the foundation of your meal, there's no way you could lose. There's no way you could lose. So depending on what your goals are, we'll get into that later. Today's just kind of like a broad video, but the last thing I'm gonna talk about is just like in general, just daily movement. Move your body every day. I know a lot of people talk about 10,000 steps. For what I do in my job, 10,000 steps is kind of light. So I'll be sometimes hitting like 20,000 steps. So I'm not gonna lie, just move your body, man. You don't want to sit in the same place for too long because complacency kills. So if you just always just laying around, not doing nothing, you just always gonna get used to that. And then when it's actually time to put in work, to actually do something, to work towards something, you lose motivation so quick because you don't have that background. You're not used to working hard. I know everybody knows somebody that is like a hard worker. We all know that one person that is a hard worker. And chances are that person probably gets not everything that they want in life, but they probably get most things that they want in life because they work so hard. Not everybody, but we know at least one hard worker that is living good because they work hard. But we also know that one person that when the adversity hits, when any type of work is involved, they the first ones complaining. But when it's time to have fun, when it's time to enjoy the fruits of other people's labor, they're the first ones that are there. So you gotta be mindful of that. You gotta be mindful that everything that you do, even if it's just in the gym or just creating a business or just trying to do this or that, XYZ, it is a foundation moving forward into your life. I'm sorry. But it's something that if it's in the gym or it's in the classroom or it's at work, it's going to translate to other areas of your life as well. It can even be spiritual. It can be dating. It can be anything. So just remember that these hallmarks, these anchors that I gave y'all, this little tidbit that I gave you about the routine, tomorrow we're going to do a part 2. Today was just part 1. I just wanted to just give y'all a little bit because I don't want to give too much information at once because these are daily videos for now. So I kind of want to keep it light. And as time goes on, we'll start like digging deeper and the content will get better. But as of right now, we just treat this like practice for all of us. We're still learning. I'm still learning how to speak to a camera. I'm looking over here. I should be looking over here. So you see what I'm saying? I'm still learning. So there's a lot. This is all a work in progress. We're going to get through it. But the biggest thing is we can't stop. We can't stop because time is moving. And if you sleep, one day you're going to sleep too long and your moment going to pass. So just remember, guys, that everything in life, whatever happens on earth stays on earth. So don't try to go too crazy over here because we still got another life that we got to live after this. And that's the real life. So take that with a grain of salt if you believe in that. But hey, 101 Care, I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.